Pulp Fiction. This movie's pretty good. In the late 90s and early 2000s, you had two choices as a new filmmaker. Either mimic Pulp Fiction or die. Movies were now non-linear, interlocking stories about conversational, quippy roughnecks who shoot people and swear a lot. And when this happens to a popular film, so too comes the question of why these rip-offs aren't as good. Thing is, the common answers to that question are talked about to death. What I ain't gonna do is sit here listing off all the reasons Pulp Fiction was the most popular dorm room movie poster until Fight Club came out. For that, you can find almost any male college freshman. I'm sure they'd be happy to tell you. Yeah, this movie's awesome, but why? Why is it really? You can obviously fuck up the surface level elements of Pulp Fiction. One minute you think you're making a dry humored ensemble crime film, and before you know it, bam! You're hanging out down here, in the trash, with the fucking Boondock Saints. Something else is going on here. But what is it? The truth is, it's not any one thing, but rather a purveying mentality that's reflected in everything Pulp Fiction does. An abstract, irreplicable blend of story and character development that you can't hope to identify, but certainly provide examples of evidence that it's there. So I can't sum it up all myself, I'm not gonna try, but the example I've identified has to do with eating. The process of ingesting food that your body may break down and absorb its nutrients. It's social, it's natural, it's human, which means it's prime cinematic material. To understand the successes of Pulp Fiction, you gotta understand eating and how Tarantino uses it to explain who these characters are. Every movie, he'll show off these incredibly gorgeous close-up shots of food and eating, but only in Pulp Fiction is the actual act so vigorously explored. Tim Roth opens the movie talking about robbing a restaurant with his wife, saying it's the perfect venue for a stick-up because the diners aren't expecting it. Eating is an intimate moment, and disturbing that sacred time demonstrates domination. He's got a whole mental PowerPoint prepared on just how he concluded this is a good idea. So guns are on the table, they start yelling, there's a freeze frame, and we get the surf rock opening credits. After that, meet Jules and Vincent. They like driving and talking about burgers. Right now, their job is to bust in on this proto-MAGA looking guy Brett and steal back a briefcase for Marcellus Wallace because it has his favorite shiny plot device inside. And all you need to know about Brett is, he is not good at his job.
What?
In about 30 seconds, you know he is a preppy, soft, cowardly Pillsbury doughboy in over his head, and Jules just annihilates him. But what's important about this is Jules disturbs Brett and his lackeys while they're eating breakfast, exactly as Roth described. Only he doesn't explain it, he just does it. Both characters, Roth and Jules, are criminals, but this is a subtle way to demonstrate the difference in their experience and professionalism. He doesn't have to explain it. It isn't some revelation. It's his basic procedure, like breathing. His ability to assess a situation and get inside people's heads transcends anything Roth could ever conjure. Whether or not the audience knows it, this is a storytelling tool that tells them Jules is far more intelligent than the average crook. Butch is making Pop-Tarts when he realizes he's not alone. Marcellus has coffee and donuts when Butch hits him with his car. The only meal in the film that seems to go well is Vincent and Mia's dinner date. Even then, it's not like their evening's uneventful. Pulp Fiction says if you get cozy with your food, that's asking to be taken by surprise, again and again. But it's not doing this as an actual statement about eating or food. Maneuvers such as these are treated as a street-smart commodity. You can have the initial advantage like Roth does, but the more seasoned player is going to win, which is why Jules still runs laps around him in the finale. Tarantino uses Roth's precedent about eating as a baseline. It opens the film, delicately establishes character, and then closes the film, reaffirming what it taught us about them, coming full circle. But that is only one part of what it means to be a professional. Pulp Fiction characters act based on whether or not they are supposed to do something. A lot of process, a lot of ruminating on social graces, and a whole lot of not pissing people off. And this is because every decision they make has to take into consideration how the hierarchy of Marcellus Wallace's crime world will affect their survival. The trade-off being that life of frivolous violence will yield money and the fear-instilled respect of others. It's professionalism or die. The characters who can navigate that system are the ones with the most guts, intuition, and proper split-second decision-making. But no matter what, everyone is gonna slip up. Eventually, everybody's gonna fall short of those expectations. Not just Brett and his friend who looks like Jerry Seinfeld. And that could very easily cost you your life. Vincent is routinely careless, gets into close scrapes, and sure, he can get out of some of them, but ultimately pays the price for his lifestyle. If you're gonna dive into that world, there are two ways to survive. Either dip your toes in, beat the system, and leave like Butch, or you pass a threshold of experience where you make the decision Jules does, the move only the most professional guy would make. Leave.